Rotation 3 ways to help unlock the mid back and the upper back to help relieve tension in the neck and the shoulders and help to free up the shoulder blades as well. You'll just need a space on the floor, maybe with a mat, doesn't matter, but a softer surface is a little bit better than a harder surface. Something to support your head while you're lying on your side. It's much better to be more in that neutral position instead of having your neck craned off to the side while you're trying to do these exercises. So I have a couple examples. Pillow works perfectly. Grab something off the couch, yoga block, or one of these little cushions here. So the first one we're going to start with is to lie down on your side with your head on that pillow, and both of your arms will be pointing forward in front. So we call these like crocodile arms, and you're going to really try to let your head relax. My glasses get in the way here. We're going to have the knees bent. The hips are going to be in line with the shoulders, and you're going to try to keep your hips forward throughout this exercise. So just to get the movement, we're going to reach this arm up towards the ceiling, and then we're going to allow the torso and the rib cage to rotate. And this one I'm going to allow my head to just go with my upper spine and just see where it wants to go. Watch that the arm is not too high and you're not into the traps. You usually feel a really nice stretch here through the pecs because you're just letting gravity pull that arm down to the floor. You're going to try to keep those hips forward. Then we're going to bring that arm all the way back to the front. So this is called spinal rotation. We're going to inhale for this one. We're going to add a little bit of breathing, and we're going to keep our head looking forward. So you're going to inhale, lift the arm up, use the exhale to rotate the torso. So the rib cage is dropping down towards the mat, and your arm is reaching back, but your head is looking straight forward, and it will want to fight you, and it will want to look and just rotate the other way, and that's because of tension and just habit. So just keep looking forward. This is key because it's going to help to unlock those two different movements to separate them from each other. Take a nice deep breath there on an inhale, and then use your exhale to close it all back down. So we're going to do that one more time. So it'll be 3 to 5 times on each side. If it feels good, keep going, but we'll just do 3 as a demonstration. This is an inhale. Use the exhale to let the spine open. So, the goal in an ideal world there is to let that shoulder drop down towards the floor while your head is still looking forward and your hips are staying forward. So you have a true rotation of the spine. Big inhale here, and then use that exhale to close down. We're going to go on to the other side. So you can either just turn over or flip over to the other side. Same setup, something to support your head, and you want your both arms to be out front, knees are bent, reaching forward. Inhale. Use the exhale to open up through the spine. I'm going to keep my head looking forward for this one as well. And it is a bit of a struggle depending on the side because it just wants to follow that arm. Big inhale there. And use your exhale to close down the ribs. Glasses are getting in the way, so I'm going to take those off. Another inhale, exhale, open, rotating through the spine, letting that head stay looking forward, reaching those fingertips down, again, not getting into those traps, so I'm going to just move my arm a little bit lower. Big inhale puts more stretch on the pecs, and then a nice exhale to close everything down. Last one, inhale to lift up, exhale, open. So I'm leading with the rib cage ideally. I'm not just reaching with the hand. I'm trying to encourage that spine to rotate, so I'm letting gravity pull on that rib cage to open me up there. And I'm going to get out of that trap again and pull down a bit further towards the foot end of the mat there. Big inhale and strong exhale to close it down. So the next rotation we're going to do is on all fours. So if you're comfortable on your hands and knees, you're going to come into a quadruped position where the knees are underneath the hips, your hands are underneath your shoulders, and then we're going to do a nice spinal rotation from this position. So I'm going to reach my right arm out to the side, and then I'm going to dip it through the arm, my left arm here. I'm going to bend that elbow slightly, and again, I want to use my spine to rotate, and I'm going to reach across the room a little bit further. I'm going to unwind a touch, and then wind up again with an exhale. Inhale to pull back just a little bit. Exhale to keep going. And then I'm going to place that arm right down on the floor if that's comfortable for you. I'm going to place my ear down on the floor, my head down on the floor, shoulder down. The back of my hand is touching, so we'll see this a bit better on the other side. Maybe here. And then this left arm is going to be pressing down into the floor. So your bum is in the air, your knees are down. Back of your right hand is pressing down into the floor. The palm of my left hand is pressing down into the floor. So if I simultaneously press those, then I get a little bit more of a stretch through the upper back and the shoulder blades. Big inhale and exhale here. And just enjoying that stretch. Lots of variations of this one. It's a pretty common stretch. Try to hang out for about 3 to 5 big breath cycles. It doesn't totally matter, but you do want to feel a change from how you felt going into the stretch to feeling a little bit more relaxed and lighter coming out. So we're going to do that on the other side, so it might be a bit of a better visual. I'm going to reach that left hand out to the side, and then I'm going to scoop it through this right arm. Small bend in the elbow, reaching towards the front here. And I'm going to unwind just a little bit, again, using more of my spine and reaching. Inhale, small unwind, and exhale a little bit further. And one more time. Press and rotate. I'm going to place that arm right down. Let my head relax. That bum stays in the air. This front hand is going to press down onto the floor with the palm. That underhand here is going to press down with the back of the hand. And then you just hang out here in a nice spinal rotation. Depending on the type of practice that you're doing. If you wanted to stay here longer, you can. That would be nice. But if you're just looking for that stretch, then just hang out for about 3 to 5 breaths. And try to make them nice and focused in through the sides of the ribs. And it might feel restricted because there's tension there, and you've already then rotated, so you're twisting that access to the lungs, of course, but it's good for it. So pressing back of the hand, top of the hand here. You can also move this hand. Again, that's a couple ways that people can do this stretch differently. They can reach this arm overhead, and that's a nice lat stretch as well. That one actually feels lovely. Okay, one more breath. And then use that breath to press into the hands and come back to all fours. So the last one we're going to do is on your back and pillow for underneath your head. And this is a basic way to do this spinal rotation. It's important to do this one safely for the low back area. Let's bring the legs into what we would call a tabletop position, or you can keep the feet flat on the floor if you're not comfortable lifting your legs here in the air. The ab support is not supporting you. So I'll start with the legs in tabletop, but again, you can just keep the feet on the floor. Same concept. You're going to bring your hands open and press the palms down. And again, you don't want to go too high so that you get into those traps or pop the chest. Your goal is to keep the shoulder blades in line with the rib cage, and just nice and suction cupped up against them. Inhale here. Again, the breath is important. And then use that exhale to gently drop the knees over to one side. Just as when you were on your side, you want to keep the parts facing forward to stay facing forward and let the rotation happen naturally through the part of the spine that we want to rotate. If we let everything just go, then it's more turning over than finding that true rotation. So in this position, you just want to take a couple of deep breaths as well. Again, you're breathing in through the sides of the ribs. My head is looking up towards the ceiling. Try to get that neck more relaxed. And my shoulders are staying grounded on the floor. If they were really peeling off, then I would take my range of motion less. My goal would be to keep the shoulder blades or the shoulders nice and open here. When you find your next exhale, I want you to use that opposite arm to press you back, up, and over. We've just stretched out those muscles. We don't want to necessarily tell them to engage right away to try and come back over. Take a big breath in the center here. Exhale to drop over towards the other side. And sometimes you get nice complementary adjustments through these ranges of motion. Again, shoulders are staying nice and open to the ceiling. Neck is nice and relaxed. Throat is soft. And it should just be a nice, easy stretch. There are a few ways that I could tweak this to be just more effective and efficient, but you're still getting a great benefit of just through this motion. So big breath here. Shoulders are down. You can press those palms down into the floor and feel those shoulder blades connect to the rib cage. If you're breathing, then you should feel maybe more attention into this rib here that's pointing up towards the ceiling. Big in and strong out. So then the next exhale, you're going to use your arm to help you press up and over instead of just engaging those back muscles to pull you. And you can place your feet back down. So I would repeat the spinal rotation cycle about 3 times as well. It just feels really nice. I would do these rotation exercises about once a day, all 3 of them in a rotation, 3 to 5 times each. And that just really helps to unlock the mobility of the spine. It's designed to go in different ways, and our head is allowed to turn in one direction while our torso turns the other. But we lose this ability over time just because of the postures that we take each day. And it'll help to free up any tension and pain as well, because now everything is not stiff and stuck together. They're moving more freely. So I do hope that these exercises help. And I also love your feedback if you found them helpful for you.